Welcome to the Casper Podcast, where we take a deep dive into blockchain technology and speak with those who are building the future of the decentralized web. I'm your host, Joe Benso, and with me today is Matt Schaffnit from the Casper Association. Thanks for joining me today, Matt.
I'm wearing my blazer for this one today, Joe.
On today's show, we're speaking with well-known NFT artist Dario De Siena. He's known for his art and also incorporating new technologies into his work, and he's joining us on the podcast today from Switzerland. Happy to have you here, Dario. Thanks for taking your time and spending time with us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Dario, you're well known in this space. Back in 2021, NFTs really took off, and you happen to be, one of the figures that were doing some really interesting projects, and you became really well known for your remixes and then your own launches with mines, with your individual one-of-one pieces. Maybe take us back to 2021 and the journey until up to today. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on where things are going next.
So let's start from the beginning. Coming from the physical art world, I'm coming from portrait painting. Early days, street art and graffiti was my main kind of focus then. And entered Web3 2021, March, I will say. Right now, it's the anniversary of selling my first NFT, probably 3 years anniversary. So I think already 30 years in Web3 time. I entered the space not expecting anything. I was just hearing about it from a friend in my office. He told me, why you're not doing NFTs? And I told him, what is an NFT? So I minted 7 Bored Apes on the mint day without even knowing what's happening. Everybody was talking about apes. So I bought 7 apes, and my friend told me that we actually have all the rights on it. So we was thinking, why not creating some art with the apes and sell them, because people appreciate the apes. So I started making derivatives with my own apes first, just recreated them in my own style and sold them for the same as the mint price. That worked really well till I got to many requests of other apes who actually like to have these remixes, which ended up having a spreadsheet of 40 apes requested to have a remix. It was never ending, but it was fun to do, and it was great to be in the community at this time because everything was so new and so refreshed. Over these 3 years, I had great success in the community of the apes because I was also requested for being one of the first artists showcased in the Rolling Stones Bored Ape Limited Edition. Yeah, that was kind of my journey entering with the Bored Apes, but then also selling my own art was a great success and a great experience. You also talked about the Mines collection, which maybe comes close to a PFP collection, but it was all hand-drawn and it was more of fine art pieces, which I really sold successfully over a period of 1 year or something, which gave me a lot of freedom in what I create next. And it was a great journey till today with many ups and downs, big learning curve, because something that new, you just need to find out, fail, and go from there. There is no building without failing, in my eyes.
One of the byproducts or results of your experience in Web3 over the last 3 years with NFTs has been that, for example, your early collection that was close to a PFP project, the Mines collection that you sold over the course of the year, that new way to sell provided you basically the freedom to create other stuff, maybe that you would have been less flexible to create had that avenue not been available.
Normally what I see in the art world is you don't really do what you actually love to do because you actually have to earn money. It's also why an artist get mainstream too much, because it's working, right? That's what is working. That pays my bills. So why should I change? And for me, change is really necessary for myself as an artist to be totally free, because art is what I love to do, because I have my own rules and there is no other rule there. I can do now what I like to because I have a little financial freedom right now. Now the real fun part starts, and I have more time to invest in myself and what products I like to create and how to create my brand.
In the 3 years that you've been in the space, you haven't been shy at taking risks. So for example, you mentioned the process. and new things are always coming online within this space, within blockchain. And now we've got, the merging of AI as well, and how AI becomes a tool set for artists. And you've seemed to have taken this head on. How has that been for you, that process, and kind of accepting AI as a tool for yourself?
I mean, there are pros and cons for AI. I'm not gonna lie. I'm also scared about many things I see in the world right now going on with that. But it's just a tool for me. Still, the human need to interact with the AI. Other than that, it will fail in my eyes. There is no life, right? Even you create 1,000 pieces and a human sorts out what is like the curated ones, which I did for the
tell us about Flux, this new project.
Yeah. So I launched the Flux collection on Solana. I was not doing it because I like to create the collection. It was just more me playing around with AI for over 1.5 years, probably. And then I started like training AI to actually recreate something between the AI, which I just let it learn what I like to, and also combine it with visuals, which was from all my artworks, basically. So Flux at the end was kind of a combination of my digital drawings and like AI training. But AI is really, for me, it's like a new kind of door in front of me, which I like to open and like to experience and try to work with to get to something which was not here before.
So do you consider, the blockchains themselves and like the smart contracts themselves also part of your tool set? And what's the difference as you're choosing, a blockchain to explore? You've now launched on Ethereum, Solana. I'm really curious about the upcoming launch on Bitcoin. And I know our listeners would love to know if you would consider doing something on Casper as well.
I started with Ethereum, and in the early days, it was even crazier than right now that gas fees just killed everything. So for small like artists who just enter the space and try to maneuver to find out how to mint and whatever, if they make any failure by minting, they will already lose a lot of money.
Expensive.
So this is where like other blockchains like Solana or Casper, for example, come into place, because I did a drop last year where I actually like kind of used the technology of the blockchain to actually gamify kind of the journey and give people kind of options where they can mint something for free. Then they earn something which get airdropped to them, and then they can earn it to actually redeem something new. The idea was great and the people enjoyed it, but it was just ridiculous how much gas we actually burned to do that. If I will do the same again, I will go with another blockchain. There are many options, and I think if you choose the right one for the right product, it can work really well. And I think that's the case for many brands entering the space. I think they will probably mess everything up if they go with ETH. It's not that it's done yet, but it's just like, let's wait for the update, see what's coming.
Hats off to you, Dario, for being able to see the possibilities of what you can do in this space and to explore as an artist and pioneer new ways of doing things. I think it's a good inspiration for artists coming into this space or coming into the art world in general and seeing all of the dynamic things that are possible, things that you're experimenting with.
Thanks for having me, and looking forward to reveal more about Casper and what's happening there.
Thank you so much, Dario. That was a lively discussion. Learned a lot, as I always do and expected to. I'm hoping to see you again in person sometime soon, brother.
Yeah, same.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you to Dario and Matt. And if you like these conversations, be sure to subscribe to the Casper Podcast on your favorite platform. You can also leave us a voice message for a chance to appear on a future episode. And until then, keep building, and we will see you again on the next episode of the Casper Podcast.